And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Snickers Shootout, the final race where we will actually then know the three fields that will be in the All-Star race. By the way, the All-Star races will be taking place at probably the best track ever made, Zenjoltis, an amazing restrictor plate track that can fit 7 and 8 wide racing. Also, the season finale race of the Craftsman Car Series taking place there. Please go over to NASCAR Stop Motion Guys channel, check that out. Alright, so, on the pole for today's race is going to be James McLeod. To his outside is going to be Kristen Worry. Then it's going to be Ralph Green, Shane Green, and Devin Wilson. That's going to be the top 5 for the starting lineup here today. We got a lot of cars in this field, and not really much of a surprise because we had about 58, 59 drivers in the Snickers Cup Series alone. So, you know, not surprising that we have this many drivers, but obviously Jack Nathan getting into the All-Star race after winning that race at Daytona, that elimination race. All these drivers had a chance at that and were not able to come through, and so they're going to try and do it here today. Well, for the second straight year in a row, I am joined here in the broadcast booth by none other than the driver who's actually going to be in both the Snickers, or make that the Mobile One Cup Series All-Star race and the Oreo Truck Series All-Star race, but he's here to help us broadcast this race. Brandon Gonzales, fellow NCG MRS member. Glad to have you here in the booth, Brandon.
Hey Seth, it's great to be back in the booth with you for another year. Really excited. It's been forever.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it was back at the Mobile One Cup Series race back last season at Pigs Creek Super Speedway when Noah Cars took that win. And so, yeah, it has been a long time. I gotta ask you, you didn't race here in the Mobile One Cup Series All-Star race, or in the shootout, because you're going to be in due to your win at Infineon, but you did get to race here in the trucks. What is there about Trenton Speedway that you like? Anything that caught your eye when you were out there on the racetrack?
What I like about Trenton is there's a lot of open area for you to race on, to where, say there's a wreck, you could avoid it by going high or low. It's just that big of a racetrack. The starting 3 and 4 wide, that's also pretty fun. And then there's always the boomerang term, which I like to call it. It's just my own terminology for it. It creates excitement. It's not the same conventional backstretch that you would normally see.
Now, the next race after this one's going to obviously be the Oreo Truck Series All-Star race, in which you're going to be a part of it because of winning the fan vote. And it's actually the first time I've been able to interview somebody that won the fan vote. And what are your thoughts on that? How did it make you feel when you were told that you had gotten the fan vote for the Oreo Truck Series?
It feels great being in the Oreo Truck Series race via vote, but I would like to say I don't really think I'm the only one that deserved to be in it via the vote. I mean, a lot of other great drivers deserved it besides me. And the Mobile One Cup Series race, I'm going to be in via winning at a road course. I'm going to tell you this, I'm not the best at road courses, so when we won, let's just say the entire team got ecstatic over that. We were throwing Pepsi cans all over the place. It was just crazy. And I'll be glad to be driving with a lot of great drivers out there. I mean, the NNSCRA has great drivers, and I can't wait to race with them.
Now, you were in the Oreo Open, as mentioned, and you had to go through the mandatory pit stop that had to be made. Your thoughts? Are you for it, against it? Did you like it, not like it? Pretty much, what's your generalization of the mandatory pit stop?
I like the mandatory pits. It shuffles the field around, and it doesn't just... it's not just the same people that's in the front all day long. It's different people coming up to the front for the first time in the day sometimes.
Alright, so the command to fire the engines has been given. In mere moments, these cars will roll off, and we'll have 27 laps of racing here at Trenton. And, of course, we got that mandatory pit stop and everything, and now we are seeing that the pace car is going to roll off, and we'll get this field underway.
Alright, well, before we start, I'd like to say that today is Tanner Sullivan in the 26 is his first start today. Hope he does well. We'll be watching him as he faces some great drivers today.
Yeah, that's quite a task that young Tanner Sullivan has made for himself, the fact that he's decided to make his first career start here with a chance to make the All-Star race in the Snickers Cup Series.
Alright, Seth, let's get ready, because here we go. The Snickers Shootout is underway here in Trenton.
James McLeod, Kristen Worry to get us underway. Here into turn one, they...
Trouble, James McLeod!
Oh, and James McLeod back up the racetrack. A lot of cars involved, and it didn't take him long to get into trouble.
We have cars flipping all over the place. This is nuts.
Let's see if we can tell you the cars for you. Shane Green, I see there. Jake Rogers. Looks like maybe Felix Harris. James McLeod, of course, our pole sitter. Sean Galligan. Looks like he may have damage. Oh, there's Harold Columbia. Looks like Jared Crocious back there may have gotten some damage. Looks like Tanner Sullivan. Oh, the 26 of Tanner Sullivan, I think, has got some damage in his first start. There you got Brian Fleener. He was involved. Oh, and there's Daniel Schwab spinning up in that turn. Crocious there in the 4. Trent Whitney in the 46. Oh, Tanner Sullivan does indeed have damage. His first career start is not going to end well. Oh, Robert Bann is on pit road, so is Matthew Rodriguez. And we're under the caution flag. Michael Harvey's got some damage as well. And there you see Felix Harris.
Just a huge wreck here on lap 1.
I'd say maybe half the field was involved in that. Maybe even 2/3 of it. There looks like maybe Ziggy Baines got some damage. There's Galligan. He's got damage. Oh, wow. Look at Robert Cruz and teammate Kristen Worry. Both Stewart Haas Racing cars have problems. And a lot of cars coming down pit road.
And here come some drivers for that mandatory pit stop.
Got lots of them coming down here. There's Jonathan Morris, 6 of Noah Cars, Bob Fergus, Adam Rose, James. Oh! 13 gets into trouble.
Ooh, we have trouble in the pits. There's cars wrecking in the pits. Look at the 60! Look at the 60! I've never seen anything happen like that before in my entire career. The 60 car just, wow. In between a car and a wall. I've never seen that happen.
That's Jonathan Morris. He's kind of held in there by Felix Harris and Bob Ferguson. Now he's going to be able to go to his pit stall, but... wow, that was mighty interesting right there. Here you see the rest of the cars making their pit stops there. Pichu London's there. Oh! Sean Galligan gets a piece of Jared Crocious. What's with these guys wrecking on pit road? Devin Wilson's now on pit road. Oh my. I don't think I've ever seen that much action on pit road in a long, long time. And it looks like there may be someone smoking up ahead. Yeah, that's Jamie Watson.
Whoa, Jamie Watson's up in smoke. What happened there?
Well, I think I saw him end up running into somebody on pit road, but I don't know if that was enough to cause this smoking. But something obviously gone horribly wrong in that Geico Toyota.
This is just absolute chaos here. Absolute chaos.
So it looks like the leader under caution is going to be Jacob Cook, Ralph Green, Ray Wilson, Lisa Shears, and Joshua Curry. That's the top 5. Let's look at a replay, see what happened on lap 1. Alright, looking at a replay, I think the start of this may be with Devin Wilson in the 23. He's in the middle there. Down underneath him is the Ralph Green machine, that blue deuce, and right here, yeah, Devin Wilson does get into the 00 of James McLeod and wrecking the leader. That's dangerous. That took out the whole field almost.
The 39 just barely missed his chance to miss the wreck. He just, if only 1 second had passed, he would have probably made it, but he didn't, and he gets turned. That's some bad luck there. I mean, 1 second later, and he would have gotten through there no problem.
And there are so many drivers that are involved in this, it's hard to name them all off. You just gotta look here at the replay and see if you made it through or not.
It is just a wreck fest here. I mean, there's wrecks happening. Wrecks that I didn't think would happen are happening today. I mean, it's just a wreck fest.
And some drivers like Brian Fleener, Tanner Sullivan, I think they may have been a wreck further back because they've got damage already and they weren't involved in this. Let's look back and see. Here it is. Oh, Matthew Rodriguez got turned up by Stephen Dillon. He goes up into Corey Williams, Michael Harvey, Tanner Sullivan. And those 3 are going to get a piece of the wall. Oh, Bob Fergus gets a little piece of it in the 64 as well. Oh, there's a wreck further back as well. Jake Berg. I can't tell who else is back there. Trent Whitney gets some damage there. Oh, there you go. Robert Bann, Brian Fleener, Harold Columbia, Jake Berg. They're all involved in a wreck there. There were like 3 separate wrecks there between turns 1 and 2. And then you think it's over. This wreck actually occurred all the way around the racetrack, if that's possible. Here you see Robert Bann, Trent Whitney, and company. And, oh, here comes Matthew Rodriguez in, and right up behind his teammate, Daniel Schwab. Right there, Pichu London's going to get into the 43, and they're going to go up the racetrack, and there's just nowhere for anybody to go. And watch the impact these two guys take in the wall.
The 43 is on his nose, just wow. I mean, just I can't say anything except just I can't even say anything about it.
Well, Daniel Schwab, Pichu London, Stephen Dillon, Jared Crocius, and of course Matthew Rodriguez. And you're right. There is no way to really describe that wreck because here at Trenton, you wouldn't expect something like that to happen, but I guess with the speeds that they have here, that's what happens. And here you see what happens to Daniel Schwab over in Turn 3. Remember we saw the Stanley Tools Ford spun over here in Turn 3. Pichu London kind of getting squeezed between Schwab and the wall, and Schwab's the one that goes for the ride. But it's incredible the high speeds that these cars go at, and I think that's what presents these wrecks here at a track that really it doesn't seem like those kind of wrecks are possible.
Hey Seth, just a random thought. Do you think an F-22 going at a slow enough speed could actually race with these cars?
Well, I'll tell you, it almost seems like it's not impossible. I mean, like I was saying, these speeds, they're exceeding what we're actually expecting, and it's bringing about almost as if this is a restrictor plate track. This is not a restrictor plate track, not in the least. And the high speeds are absolutely incredible. As you take a look here through the field, you can see some cars are a lap down, but the majority of them are in the garage area. But yeah, going back to your question, obviously we wouldn't let a plane on the racetrack, but I really think that these cars, the speeds are exceeding what we're expecting, and I agree. I think that these cars are going at such high speeds that, you know, I don't know if necessarily an F-22 would end up being something that would be a challenge for them, but obviously these are racing pretty high speeds here at a racetrack like Trenton. And we'll be ready to go back under green. A lot of lap cars down there they're going to have to contend with here, as we will get the green flag, and Jacob Cook will lead him down. Ralph Green there, Ray Wilson. Oh!
Ooh, trouble. Trouble, the 2 cars involved.
Oh, and it's not over! Bob Fergus gets up into Kristen Worry, and Ryan Acosta is involved. Oh my goodness, Trenton just playing havoc with these drivers here. Tell you what, whoever wins this race is going to have to earn it. But Ralph Green ended up getting turned while running in second. Let's look at a replay and see what happened, as Jacob Cook's going to lead them down to the caution flag. There's Ralph Green. Don't look like much damage to him. Kristen Worry there in the 39 obviously hit the wall, and there's Ryan Acosta. These are the guys that we're pretty much under the caution for. I don't know if Ralph Green just spun or if he hit anything. Let's look at a replay. Okay, this is what we got. Maybe the 15 turning the 2?
Okay, so Ray Wilson gets into Ralph Green, and then it's just complete and utter chaos here. A chain of events happen that just send us into the caution we have here right now.
And Ralph Green did indeed make contact with the inside retaining wall right there. Not much damage to the Blue Deuce, but then, of course, as you said, the chain of events going on here. There's a wreck that ends up occurring up here with the 39 and the 6, Kristen Worry. And I saw this when it happened. I believe Stephen Dillon gets into Bob Fergus, sends him up into Kristen Worry. Let's take a look here. Oh no, Trent Whitney, right here. He comes up. And he does get into the 64, and it kind of puts the 64 up into the 39. And Ryan Acosta, he's just along for the ride, really.
That's a hard lick into the outside wall by the 39. I mean, that's just a hard lick.
And Kristen Worry, not having the best of seasons, has not yet made a start in the Snickers Cup Series. Only driver that I know of that hasn't made an event yet, and really, I think she really would have wanted to get into the All-Star. She had a good qualifying spot, started off in second. Alright, so drivers that did not make pit stops last time coming down this time, including Jacob Cook, Ray Wilson, T.O. Bain, Lisa Shears, Jack Richards, Joshua Courier, Ziggy Bain, and others. We had trouble on pit road last time. Let's see if these guys can make their pit stops without any problems this time. Nope, we're not going to get through there. Oh, my goodness, look at this. Joshua Courier and Ziggy Bain getting into each other off on pit road. You know what? I was talking, we had guest commentator Robert Bann in the booth for the Oreo Truck Series shootout. And he was saying how this pit road, it's wide at the beginning, but when you get down towards the very end of pit road, the far end, it narrows up a little bit, and I think maybe that's what's playing havoc with these drivers, because we've had 2 incidents now on pit road, and I don't know if we're going to continue to have that problem or not. Let's step aside for commercial break. You're watching the Snickers Shootout. And we are back to the Snickers Shootout here on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Seth Cole alongside Brandon Gonzales, and we're reminiscing back to when we first were together in the NNSCRA booth. It was back in the Mobile Cup Series All-Star Race of Season 1 at Pigs Creek Superspeedway. Noah Cars in the number 49 Paralyzed Veterans of America Dodge took the win there, and he unfortunately is not going to be in the Mobile 1 Cup Series All-Star Race due to the fact that he does not have a Mobile 1 Cup Series ride. He does have a Snickers Cup Series ride here. He switches off in the 6th for Roush Fenway Racing with Ryan Acosta, but Acosta is driving that car here today, and just recently we had a caution that involved Ryan Acosta in the 6th, and we've had actually a lot of cautions here. 2 of them so far, and a lot of cars taken out and multiple cars damaged. I don't think there's a car on the racetrack, with the exception of maybe the front 5 or 6 that don't have any damage at all. I mean, Ray Wilson looks pretty good as he is the leader. Brandon, you've had a chance to observe these laps so far. What are you thinking now in terms of this race?
Well, as we get ready for the restart, I'm hoping we get some good green flag laps here under our belt. And I spoke too soon. Trouble! Robert Bann in the back.
And look at Jacob Cook take Ralph Green 3 wide there, using the Jonathan Morris car, that number 60 as a pick. And that's going to give him second, I believe. It is indeed. Ray Wilson going to lead him down to the caution flag. And as you said, it was Robert Bann in that number 13 Stanley Tools Dodge that we're under the caution for. Oh, and Lisa Shears got a piece of it as well. The M&M's Toyota heavily damaged. Jacob Lawler also involved. Oh, wow. Let's see why we're under the caution, but it is big-time damage for that Lisa Shears car. And she was running up in the top 5, too. Okay, we're waiting for our technicians to get us the replay here, but tough break for Lisa Shears. Alright, here we go. See Robert Bann, he gets into the wall there. And does he come down the racetrack? Boy, you really can't tell back there. Something's turned Robert Bann around. But I think that for Robert Bann, it was just a solo car spin here. Oh, no, Ryan Acosta, that UPS silver car. You can see on the left side of your screen, he's got damage to the front end of his race car. So maybe he was the one that turned Robert Bann. But then the wreck that involves Lisa Shears and Jacob Lawler, it occurs further up here. See if we can get our cameras on that, get a replay of that. Here we go. Lawler comes up. He just comes up in front of Daniel Schwab. And oh, look at the hit they take. Oh, they're both up and into the air. Lawler and Lisa Shears. Shears is on her nose. Lawler was on his rear deck lid. Oh my goodness.
Lisa Shears was sliding on her nose, and Jacob Lawler is barrel rolling. Lands on all 4 wheels, thankfully. But, I mean, barrel rolling and then landing on. barrel rolling from that. I mean, that's not a pretty sight at all. And this coming from the perspective of a driver, those are the most scariest wrecks you want to be in. Because if you're on the ground, you have some control over the car. When you're in the air, there's no control whatsoever. And, it doesn't even take much to wreck these cars. All you need to do is disturb the airflow, and these cars can go into a slide.
And we're going through the field here, seeing who's running where. There's the 200 cars, T.O. Bain and Jack Richards. James Bald up there. Adam Rose, Pichu London there in 9th. Look at the damaged race car, Michael Harvey in 10th. What a perseverance by this driver.
I'd like to say something about Michael Harvey. I can't wait to race with him in the Mobile One All-Star race. I mean, he's a great driver, and he deserves to be in that race. He deserved it, and I just can't wait to race with him, actually.
Well, Harvey, of course, raced his way into the Mobile One Cup Series All-Star race by finishing 2nd, and you're going to actually race with him in the Truck Series race, too. You get in the fan vote, and he won at Daytona in the truck, so you're both going to face each other twice. So we'll get ready for the restart. Ray Wilson out in front, Jacob Cook there in 2nd, and Ralph Green going to put the move there. Oh, they're 4 wide back there. And did they save it? They may have saved it. No, they didn't. The caution is out. Caution's waving once again. And it seems like we cannot get away from these caution flags. Look at Stephen Dillon, a lap car, trying to get back on the tail of the lead lap. If he beats Ray Wilson to the line, he'll be back on the tail of the lead lap, maybe in contention for the win. When all's said and done, Ray Wilson wants to put him a lap down at the line. Stephen Dillon's back on the lead lap. Wow, how about that? That's incredible. Stephen Dillon back on the lead lap now, and Ray Wilson will lead him under caution over Ralph Green and Jacob Cook.
For a side, I'd like to say that all this news and more can be found at ncgmrs.yolasite.com. Again, that's ncgmrs.yolasite.com.
And you can also find it at NNSCRA.yolasite.com, the official channel of the NNSCRA. And it looked like Corey Williams may have been the car that was involved. Let's look at a replay here. No, Robert Bain gets into Jake Berg right there. Pichu London gets a little piece of it. Devin Wilson's going to get turned around. Robert Bain up and into the fence. And, boy, I'll tell you what, we just can't get away from these wrecks at all.
Not a pretty sight at all, Seth. I mean, just look at this wreck fest here. It is not pretty at all.
Devin Wilson coming up the racetrack. Corey Williams gets involved. Bob Fergus. Jake Berg. Oh, my. Oh, and there's a wreck further up here. Jack Richards. He's a top contender. These are actually all top contenders here. Adrian Brees, Jack Richards, and Adam Rose, they were running, I think, 5th through 7th on that restart. And all of them find the outside retaining wall here in turn 2. And look at Corey Williams. Oh, right into the back of Adam Rose. That's why he was coming down pit road. Oh, my goodness gracious. It's going to get down to where there are going to be no cars left. Oh, my. That's why we're under the caution flag, but... Oh, my, there's only one way that you can encapsulate this race. One word, and that's chaotic. Absolute, utter chaos. So now you see we're not going to have the lap cars to deal with because they are, there's less than 10 laps to go, but... Oh, I don't know if we can survive the remainder of this race. And we have gotten the word from the NNSCRA that this will be a green-white checkered finish to end this race. You're seeing here several drivers who are still in this thing. Now remember the rules of a green-white checkered. If the caution comes out before the checkered flag is waving, or before the white flag is waving rather, the race will automatically end at the stripe. There will not be a freezing of the field. It will be at the stripe, so they'll race it back to the line. If, however, a caution does not come out, we would just race it to the checkers, green flag lap, white flag lap, and then the checkered flag would wave. So, Ray Wilson, as we mentioned, played kind of bridesmaid in the Oreo Open, finishing 3rd. He doesn't want to let that happen here today. Ralph Green, he'd like to transfer in that 2nd position. Jacob Cook, T.O. Bain, Joshua Courier, James Bald, Pichu London, they're still in this thing. And the green flag is out. Next time by, it will be the white flag. If the caution comes out, though, the race will end at the stripe. Look at Jacob Cook. This is big time. He's got to get second position in order to transfer. Jacob Cook to the inside, Ralph Green up high. This may be a race between these two for second as Ray Wilson pulls away. Ray Wilson pulling away from Jacob Cook and Ralph Green. That battle for second. Caution is out. Caution's waving here at Trenton.
All right, it all comes down to this. In turn 4, here it is at the stripe. Ray Wilson wins it. Great finish for Ray Wilson.
And it looked like almost a photo finish for second. We're getting the report. Jacob Cook won the race, got second place, so he will transfer. Sean Galligan, Bob Fergus, Jared Crozier, Harold Columbia, they're on pit road. But the two to transfer are going to be our race winner, Ray Wilson and Jacob Cook. That's the second time the 87 is going to be transferring in. Michael Harvey did in the Mobile One Cup Series race. As we take a look here at a replay of what happened. Oh! Boy, you know, they went 4 wide. I don't really know who caused that wreck, but Galligan is up and into the wall. Bob Fergus gets turned around sideways. Right there, the Devin Wilson machine gets into Harold Columbia, sends out the racetrack, and Columbia's hard into the wall. Oh, my word! Oh, and Bob Fergus is up in the air. Oh, my. This race. No one has been safe. It's been incredible. Oh, look at the 64. He got nailed by Jared Crozier. Fergus taking 2 hard hits, and then Galligan gets nailed by the 4. But the record books will show that transferring into the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race will be Ray Wilson and Jacob Cook. So here comes Ray Wilson and Jacob Cook. They have crossed the stripe, and they are going to transfer in Ralph Green, T.O. Bain, Joshua Courier. So close. And Brandon, I want to thank you for being here in the booth with me. I really enjoyed having you. Look forward to maybe doing this again next year.
All right, Seth, I enjoyed it. For all of you out there, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm Brandon Gonzales.
And I'm Seth Cole.
And you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, now merged with the NCG MRS.